Hey everyone, welcome to the 30th episode of We're All in the Same Boat. I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today I am here with Shayne.
What's good?
John.
Hello.
And Lucas.
Yo, what's up?
And as always, you can check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes, and I'm going to just stop there. Because, hold up, what do you mean I messed up, John? Did I mess up?
Episode 30.
No,
It's not.
said
it's 33.
I tried really hard. I tried really hard to
you
say
did say
33, but
Am I retarded?
I felt like it was
guess
a hard.
Check the
it didn't
recording,
sound like
Luke.
any effort. No, it didn't sound like any effort was put into saying 33.
It was actually really hard to say 33.
You said 30 very clear.
33. But hold up. I was trying to make a joke, but I was going to say, as always, you can check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes. And I'm not going to say the other one this time. Because normally I say that one, but I'm not going to say it. So, we're good. Check us out. Leave a review. Make us feel good about ourselves.
Yes, please do.
Comment, tweet us, all that stuff. I have no intro. My momentum is totally gone. Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Welcome. We have Lucas is new.
We
Hi, guys.
We have a guest today. This is his first podcast episode. Lucas is a friend of mine and married to another good friend of mine. Shout out to Kate if she even listens to this episode.
Shout out to being married.
I've
That's
known
nice.
it's been like how many years, Lucas? I've known you since high school, I think. Like
Yeah,
around
I
that
think
time.
I think I met you probably when I was 17 or 16.
Mm-hmm. And I was
Maybe no, I was 17 because I think I was already a black belt when I met you. So I was 17.
Yeah, him and I did martial arts for a couple years. We didn't do that
nice.
much together because he was at another like dojo than I was. But I'd see him at like the tests, and we had like all the same mutual friends and all that. But
Quick fun story about my martial arts career. I took karate for about, I think, 3 or 4 months, maybe when I was 5. And when they tried to teach us to do backflips, I was so terrified, and I still am to this day.
Wait, at 5 years old, they taught you to do a backflip?
Backflips.
Yeah, they were trying to do. Maybe I was older than 5 or 7 or something, but
Karate.
they tried to teach us to do backflips, and then I cried so much that I told my mom I wanted to quit because I was terrified, and then it ended there, and I regret it. So
You regretted
Sounds like a
ending it?
cover up, but sounds like a little girl
Yeah.
might have hit you and you didn't want to do it anymore.
no, honestly, it's a backflip, and I feel like I'm traumatized because I can't do backflips. I can do everything else, but like if I try to do a backflip, I'm like,
I feel like this is going
my
into some of the
pants.
stuff we've talked about before,
You
Shane,
can
where it
go.
was like the trying to stay committed and just doing stuff. Like when you're 5, it started way back then.
Wow.
yeah, no, honestly, yeah, it's a.
Speaking
Ooh,
of
tough
backflips, speaking of backflips, not to go too far off of rabbit trails. I don't know how we are about rabbit trails, but
they're more
you
than
said something
welcome.
about
They're
You said
pretty
something about
prevalent.
backflips. So when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I had a trampoline, and I taught myself how to do a backflip.
I wish.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I taught myself how to do a backflip on a trampoline in my grandparents' house. You know how the trampolines have those nets, like they have those safety nets to make sure people don't fall off.
I don't think
Some of
just
them
for the
do.
record, I don't think I
No,
used those when
because-
I was
no,
a
wait.
kid. Because I nearly fell off the trampoline so many times when I was younger, because
Yes, that's what
safety
I was
wasn't
gonna
an
say.
issue when I was a child. No one cared.
Right. Well, the
Yeah,
reason I said
the
that.
trampoline I always use. I broke my arm, man.
Yeah, the reason I said that was because my grandparents didn't have one of those on the trampoline, and I liked it that way.
More
So
freedom.
when I moved back,
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
without getting into a long family story, I moved back with my dad at one point, and they had a trampoline at their house too. But they were super into safety, and they put a net. They put one of those safety nets around it. So me, I had already taught myself how to do a backflip. Or one day I was out there just trying to do a backflip, and my foot got caught on the net, and I landed right on my neck. And yeah, it wasn't very pleasant. And I was like, you know what, whatever. It's a one-time thing. Let me do it again. So I did it again. The exact same thing happened again.
Oh man.
The exact same thing happened. So it's the definition of a safety.
You're
Doing
like,
the
guys,
same thing over and over.
I'm not used to having these obstacles around when I'm trying to do backflips, Grandma or Dad, whoever it was.
Yeah,
'Cause
it
I
was
know,
bad
like,
at the time.
When I was a kid, I was climbing on actually let me start this story a better way. When I was a kid, I fell off a bike and I like busted my head open, and I still have a scar on my forehead from it. So, if anyone ever wants to see it, it's there. The like plot twist to that story is it was an exercise bike.
Oh, wow.
So it was like I wasn't even moving. And so my parents took me into the hospital, and I like got all these stitches and stuff on my forehead. And
On
then
an
like
exercise bike?
Yeah, I know. I was like climbing out like a stupid kid. I fell and I like hit my head on a screw or something like that. I don't know. But basically,
Dude, that's seriously bad luck. Like you
I
fell
know.
probably 2 feet?
I know, but it was also kind of like, it's like, dude, how'd you get that scar? I fell off a bike. An exercise bike. But the funny part of the story is that like I fell off the bike and I got the cut and then I got like stitches. And then like within a couple hours of getting stitches, I like went back on the bike, climbed up it, and fell off again and broke the stitches open.
Serious? Wow. So
Yeah,
lightning
no.
did strike the same place
Yeah,
twice.
my parents were like, yeah, we're not taking him back this time.
Seriously.
We're just let him linger in without his stitches. He'll be fine because he's gonna smash him open again. I think like with when I used trampolines as a kid, they didn't have the net. And like, does anyone remember like the old playgrounds
Yes.
with those
The old
spring?
playgrounds?
They were just not like merry-go-rounds, like these metal barbed
Yes.
rusty
Yes.
Instant sickness.
Yeah.
This
that
is like how
spin.
children were meant to try and survive. They had to live on the
those
playground
things, yeah.
somehow. Those-
Yeah, when I lived with my mom, we had in the apartment complex we lived at, we had one of those little metal spinning things. And the basic, every
was it a
one
merry-go-round?
has it wasn't a merry-go-round. It was like one of those metal things with bars that spins, and you get on it and you get sick. That's what it was. It's one of those things.
It's a sick device. Hold up.
Yes.
Merry-go-round. I'm looking this up. Merry-go-round is like those little. These things are $2,000. What? This is an 8-foot merry-go-round, and it's $2,000. It's $2,500.
Wow.
Wow.
You're paying for nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. That's
This
it.
website is called schooloutfitters.com.
Oh, well, that's why, because they know the schools are going to pay the big bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
that's true.
merry-go-round.
Amazon it. You
budget.
can probably get it for like 200.
Let me see if there's one on Amazon, because there probably is. Go around. Also, in case anyone hasn't figured it out, this is like here's like a little toy one for $20. Here's one with like it like goes above.
A toy, like
Yeah, look at this
a
thing.
toy, or like
This one like it like goes above the merry-go-round, and it's like a saddle. This is weird.
Oh, you can get them on Amazon.
Yeah, I know. Wow, this is weird.
I would feel very awkward to show my friends that if I was a child.
Yeah. Did you guys ever have like I remember once I like
what the heck is this?
built a playground for like this one family. They like bought it, and then they paid me and my brother to like help them build it. And then like a couple years later, I came back and they tore it down. So I don't know.
There's no way this thing.
I don't know if we built it wrong or something like that, but it is what it is. So Shayne, why did you have a bad day? You were talking about that on the chat a second ago.
Well, so today at work, my leader or whatever, he wasn't here today because he went out of town. So I was basically in charge, which I mean.
Oh, and
kind
by
of
the
always
way,
in charge anyway.
Lucas, just so you know, and even listeners, Shayne
Oh, yeah.
works at.
I work rec center. I do before and after school childcare.
Fun.
So there's children everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me stories to tell.
Don't sound too
Yeah, fun.
Don't sound so like enthusiastic. He's like, yeah.
There was a lot
I
of
said fun. I'm like, I don't know if I would say fun. I mean, I have fun.
there was a lot of sarcasm in my voice there. Sorry.
You're good. So, yeah, so he wasn't here today, so I was in charge, and just everyone was just like not listening and not really following directions. And I was like over it. So like we were in the gym and I stopped playing the game that we were playing, and we were playing Hunger Games, and I was like really hyped about that. But
You were playing what?
And it's a game. It's a game called Hunger Games. It's like the Hunger Games, but
How old are these children?
with balls.
How legal is this game? And do the parents know?
But it's like
I really did the children
Yes,
survive, or are they supposed to get murdered?
no, they're fine. No, it's like 1v1, but it's not like
What?
Wait, hold on.
That's
Okay.
not Hunger Games.
It has to be-
Hunger
it has-
Games should have at least like
it has to be structured.
What?
Okay? It has
That's
to be
not even.
structured.
That's not Hunger Games if it's 1 versus 1.
Look, I didn't come up with the title.
I'm still stuck on you putting up these kids 1v1. Like, is there a cage and anything?
No, I mean
Put 'em
there's
in an
a
octagon.
certain area they can't leave. There's not a cage.
What?
but There's a
You
playing
trap them
field.
in a room, and then it's like, all right, fight.
Like those
I
playgrounds.
thought about.
Like those playgrounds we just talked about. You know, they had those big old metal domes. Throw them in there.
Oh yeah, the dumb kid.
Oh no!
Yeah,
No,
I-
you take.
I thought
hold
about
up, one second,
having-
Jay, before. So you take one of those like those domes, like you said, like metal domes, and then you take one of those parachutes that we used to play with as a kid. Throw them in there, and then put the
Yeah,
parachute
I
over
play
it
with
so they
that
can't
kid
get through
these
the
days.
bars. Oh, do they still have those?
I get to play with it as
What?
an adult, and it's just as fun. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
great.
know that.
I
I thought those things were long gone.
No, they're not. We use it. Well, we don't use it that often. I'm gonna use it tomorrow.
So you had children Hunger Gaming.
But yeah, no, I was gonna say I thought about an idea of having them play like blacking out the windows and then having them play like pitch black dodgeball and just like beat each other up. But
Okay.
I think I would get fired for that. But
Wait, that's what you wanted to
It's an
have them
idea.
do?
yeah, me and one of my coworkers were talking.
Turn the
about
lights
that.
off, give them something, and then tell them to throw it. At
No,
someone
not just turn the
else.
lights off. Black out the room and just have them play dodgeball.
So they can't see the ball flying at
Just
them.
1v1?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when they're not looking,
Look.
And just in case,
saw
you
these
switch
children-
out the dodgeballs with
If you
those
saw these
exercise
children-
balls.
I love them, but jeez.
All right, so let's move. Let's move along.
But yeah. Anyway, so they just weren't listening. But this one kid, every time he gets out of a game, if he gets tagged, if someone catches his ball, if he like doesn't win the race, he has a meltdown.
Oh, for
like full on fit
baby.
every single time. When I tell you, loses air hockey, loses basketball, like every single. It's constant. It drives me crazy.
Like sit on the
And today
ground,
it was
just
yeah, sitting on
screaming.
the ground, like won't move. Yeah, screaming, refuses to do anything. But today, normally though, I think he kind of likes me. So when I talk to him, he'll like talk to me and like he'll calm down. But today he just wasn't having it. So yeah, so he like he wanted to carry the balls to the gym, but another kid already volunteered, and I said, okay, kid, you can carry the ball.
Kid.
I didn't want to say this. I was gonna say
All
his
right,
name, but
youth, child.
no, I'm gonna say his name because his name is actually important. His name is Philip.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh,
I said,
now
Philip,
people are
you can
gonna
carry
find
the
him.
balls back. Yeah, whatever. I hope they do.
All right, so Philip
Philip.
was carrying.
Yeah, Philip.
Was not,
You
or
can-
he was.
No. He was not carrying the balls. He wanted to. So I told him, you can carry the balls back from the gym. So when he's having his meltdown in the corner on the other side of the gym, when every other kid is in line, somebody else already picks up the ball. So he has another meltdown.
Baby.
And I'm like, Philip, come on. He's like, no, someone's already carrying the ball. That's how he sounds. And I was like, okay, but I'll go take the balls from them and give them to you. So he gets up finally, and we walk over to the line. I go to give him the balls. He doesn't want them.
Oh, he's
another
this is a
meltdown.
power play, Shane. He's testing you.
Yes, has another meltdown. This time, he refuses to leave the gym, and now we're like 5 minutes after 5, and we have to keep like on a schedule so they can open the gym back up for like the other people at the rec center. So I'm like, okay, I told this other girl to stay with him, and I'm gonna go get the supervisor because I'm tired of his shit. And so I take the other kids to the game room, and then but when I'm going to get the supervisor, I see Philip coming down the hallway. So good, he got up.
I'm picturing like this really evil-looking bratty kid, like walking like a pimp
I mean-
down the hallway towards you. Like just ready
No,
to try and test you more?
He walks with his shoulders like very hunched forward. Like, that's
What?
how he walks. Because he's like pouting all the time.
Oh.
Like just when he like, I don't know, it's weird. But so we go to the game room, and then he goes into the game room, and then in the game room there's an inside playground. So he's in the playground, and then another coworker of mine says, "Oh, he shouldn't be in there. He needs to have like 5 minutes of timeout for like his behavior in the gym." So we call him out.
Crying?
His meltdowns, yeah.
Okay.
And so we call him out. He comes out, and then she's like, "You need to sit down on the bench for 5 minutes." And he's like, "What did I do?" He's like, "I didn't do anything wrong." I said, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, and then he was like, so we told him to sit out for 5 minutes, and then he starts screaming, "This is stupid."
Man.
And then I'm like, I'm over this kid. So I told him I was going to go write him up, and then he's like screaming at my coworker, like in her face. So I called his
How old
parents.
is this kid again?
He's 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so I call his parents. The dad said he's been having similar issues at home, or not at home, at school with his like regular teachers. And I was like, okay, well, we can't keep having this. Like, it's becoming like a problem where it's like disturbing time from other people. And so like maybe we should have like a sit down and like come up with some type of like accommodation plan for him so we can like get this shit together, because I'm over it. And so his mom comes to pick him up. We sit down with the mom. Oh, I forgot to say, in the game room, after he was screaming, "This is stupid," he picks up the bench, slams it down on the ground like multiple times, walks over to the table, slams his head on the table, and then like just like
This will show you guys.
All over the place.
Slams his head on the table.
Yeah, I was like,
what do the kids think? They think that's gonna make you like feel bad. Like, oh, I'll show you.
When I wrote him up, when I wrote him up, I had to check off self-endangerment.
Oh,
Yeah, Phil's fucked.
Yeah, I had to check off 4 things. I'm like, well, sorry for you, kid.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I talked to his mom, and we came up with a plan to see if that'll help him like calm down when he has meltdowns.
What's the
and
plan?
Hopefully,
I need to know what this is.
She said at home. She said at home when he has meltdowns, because it's the same thing at home, that they'll send him to his room and he'll read a book for an hour. So if he has a meltdown or something, he'll just go read a book in a different room and
Maybe she needs to just
down, hopefully.
Maybe she needs to just buy him a punching bag and let him get that aggression out.
That's why they're playing Hunger Games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then you don't need to buy any punching bags. You got all the other kids.
The other kids are the punching bags.
The kid's just a sore loser. Like the mom said, he like just doesn't understand how to win, because like even if he wins by like 1 point, that's not winning to him. Like he'll have a meltdown.
Like an
He'll
overachiever.
have a full meltdown if he wins, but doesn't win in the way that he wants to win.
Wow.
I'm like, what the heck? So like he's just never satisfied.
So you dealt with this kid all day? Is that the big thing? Like it's just like a tiring.
Well,
it sounds rough enough. I mean, I don't have to deal with any
it was
children.
like it was just a combination of like no one leaves me alone on a regular basis. Like I'm always asked questions or asked
by the children
to do things by the kids. But today it was just like they were following me. Like when I finally had like 2 seconds to like sit down and eat my sandwich, like this kid asked me a million questions about my sandwich, and I said, "Are you going to keep asking me questions?" And he was like, "Yes." So I got up very slowly and walked away, and he's like, "Why are you walking away?" And I was like, in my head I was like, I'm gonna slit this kid's throat.
It's funny though, because it's like you're like, "Are you gonna ask me any more questions?" And he's like, "What do you think?"
Yes.
Got him.
Oh yeah, and then just following me, and one kid kept begging me to buy him something from the vending machine, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Oh man, children. Oh man.
Yeah.
Do you want?
It's all good.
Do you want me to explain what I was talking about earlier, Shayne? Do you want me to say that again about children? Like what my like little thought. It sounded like a weed thought or something. Like I was just thinking. Okay, I'm gonna say it. So basically, so Lucas, we have like a group chat thing that we do, and I had a thought, and it's not like an amazing like whoa kind of thought.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, you did, because we talked about it. But my thought was that like, whenever someone decides to not have kids, it's like you're the first person in your line of like your parents and their parents and their parents. And it's not okay. This is really stupid, but it was an interesting thought. You're the first person in like hundreds of thousands of years to not have kids in that line of people.
Okay. You should have explained it better. You should have said...
Well, I typed it out like while I was walking to the bathroom at work, so I like, it wasn't like...
That's really deep.
No,
It's just
I see where
kind
you're
of
going with that. I see where you're going with that.
Because it's like literally your parents, your grandparents, their parents, their parents, their parents, and it goes on forever, and then it's like...
You should have specified on a chart when you see it. Like, there's no line. Like, oh...
Since the beginning of the world, you're the first person to like stop that line.
Assuming that you never actually have kids.
Yeah, I mean, like as soon as you have kids, you don't stop it. But like if you don't have kids at all, that line went for so.
You don't have kids,
it's literally like
you need to. I question your humanity.
Yeah, you're like the hugest asshole.
I don't think everyone should have kids, but I think a lot of people. I think more people want kids than they realize. We're just millennials and selfish.
You're ruining all that work.
That's your purpose.
To have kids? But then there's going to be too many people.
To repopulate the planet. No, I mean, there's already too many people.
Yeah, so like why...
Oh, no, hold on.
But why make more?
There's already too many people on the planet.
There's a lot of people here, man.
That's what people say. I don't think.
That people are wrong. There's not too many people on the planet. You know how many just non-existent places or how many places where there are literally no people at? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but we're like running out of like.
They're all in China.
But we have like so much. There's so much food that needs to go around, and like we're running out of ways to, like, feed the whole world. You know, it's like there's so many cars and.
But is that
a lot of people?
But the question about that is that more of a we have too many people, or we just have too many people that don't want to figure out how to, feed themselves? Is that the question? I mean, people can learn how to fish. People can learn how to go in the wild. Do whatever they need to do. Everybody's going to eat somehow.
Well, I mean, I feel like part of the question is like, you have people like, well, everyone can go fishing. Everyone can go get their own fish. But we don't necessarily run the world with that type of mentality in terms of food. It's like people are farming. We got people who do farms, and then we got people that do, like jobs that are designed to progress the culture forwards in other ways. Technology or businesses and stuff like that. So you have other people that handle the food, and you got people that handle other things. But the problem is, it's like there's so many people that we're starting to run out of places to keep the food because we run out of the Midwest. Like the Midwest keeps getting smaller. You're gonna have less corn because you have less room and there's more people all the time. So you build bigger cities, and then there's less fields. So there's more people and less food. It's just gonna keep going. And so when does it stop?
That's a good question. I don't know how true this is, but I heard this statement the other day, or just recently, that if you take everybody on the planet and put them in the state of Texas, I forgot what it was like, but everybody on the planet will fit in the state of Texas. Now, of course, that's not going to be like livable as far as
elbow to elbow.
I don't know if it's elbow to elbow or if it's with like a quarter acre of land or something like that.
If I took all of the people in the world, I'm googling it. See if we can find this. You can keep going.
What?
Yeah, I don't know the exact, but pretty much the population of the planet will fit. How many acres are there in Texas? Let's look at the landmass.
I'm about to look at this. I'm sure this is gonna be easy. Okay, hold. If I took all the people in the world, how much room would they take up? Okay, let's see if we can find this. This thing says one building. What? There's no way. One building? That building better be like the size of the Great Wall of China.
What it say? So what's it saying?
It says that...
Okay, no, I got it.
What is it?
Some like to assert that everybody on Earth could be fit into the state of Texas using logic as follows. The area of Texas is about 262,000 miles. I don't know. It's MI2.
Square miles.
Miles to this. Okay. Dividing this figure by the current human population of 7 billion leaves each person with less than 100 square meters, a small plot the size big of a room, about 10 meters by 10 meters.
Yeah, this thing says the entire human race could fit in
from
a
the
square
University of Texas.
if they were shoulder to shoulder. This is literally from a random website that could completely be wrong, but I'm just pulling it from there because I don't care. And it says that if they were shoulder to shoulder, it would be almost 17 square miles. So it would take you 22 hours to walk around every single person in the world that's shoulder to shoulder. All right, so we can fit everyone in one little spot. We're good.
Yeah. So what I was saying was,
let's figure it out.
I don't think it's a population problem. I think it's a
No. That's too many people in terms of like space. It's not too many. It's too many people in terms of.
Yeah, because think about how much food that is. Because you have all those people, and then each one, if they're eating 3 meals a day.
Yeah. If everyone can stand
lot
there in
of
Texas,
chicken.
but can everyone
Where do you
eat
put all
there
the
in
chickens?
Texas?
That's a lot of chicken.
Everybody has to become vegetarians.
yeah.
I thought you were about to say everyone needs to
Is there
become
enough grass
vegetarian.
Or
in
everyone
Texas?
eats the old people.
Well, if we put everybody
Is
in
there enough
Texas,
old people in Texas?
if you put everybody in Texas, you have the rest of the world to provide food. The rest of the land mass.
Well, if you want to hoard them like chickens,
everyone's in Texas. How are you getting food from other places?
Right. So the issue is we don't have enough people producing food. That's
all the
issue.
people, all the people are standing in a square, like, well, I guess we don't have any food now because no one's making it now.
Oh no, that would be
Everyone plants their own little
cannibalism to
garden.
like the highest.
I wonder if you would run out of oxygen in that like small little. If
If
everybody was,
if it was like, all
You
right,
probably
everybody,
would.
1, 2, 3, deep
breathe
breath, and like everyone breathed in, and then everyone died because they all sucked all the oxygen out.
Oh, we create a vacuum and then air would come rushing in to fill that vacuum. Everybody get knocked around.
Yeah, for real.
so we can all agree that would be a bad idea.
It's just like an
Yes.
explosion. Like the air was like,
It's just giant mushroom cloud.
oh, that's funny. This article is like really long. They're talking about all sorts of things. They're like, this is how many people are in the U.S. and this is where they would fit, and this is where all the people in the world, and this apparently, if you like, I think this is what it's saying. If you had people holding hands with their hands kind of outwards, so like 3 people would basically be about 9 feet or so because their hands are like coming out, and we took all the people and made them into a big circle, like a big ring around the Earth. It would be like double the diameter of the moon, like the moon's orbit. So it's like this giant circle of people just floating around the Earth. Let's do that. Just put them in space.
Where do people come up with these?
That's
the question.
It's math.
But yeah, I think as far as the whole resources thing go, I think that I don't think it's a population problem. I think it's we don't have enough people that are dedicated to building the resources.
But I mean, like, how do you raise that many chickens? Chickens got to be born, hatched, raised, plucked or killed, plucked. Shredded up.
I think it's better rationing. If you really want to get down to it, it's better rationing. How much food as Americans, how much chicken goes to waste in Burger King every single day?
Well, considering it's not really chicken.
Touche.
I know what you're saying, though. I know what you mean.
but you're right. But how much food just goes to waste every single day that you end up finding in garbage cans?
Right. Well, and certain people are eating all the food. It's just like there's certain people in the world that are eating more than other people, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So everything equal, then yes, it would be realistic. But
I mean, here's the thing. Even if I said this, what if I said this? Okay, so everybody's getting food. There's not too many people. We're still making more people, though. And we're still running out of more room. And so even if it's not a problem now...
people are also dying every day.
Yeah, but more people are being born than are dying. And especially if everyone should have kids, like we originally were talking about, then we're going to just keep having more people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just... I mean, I'm not saying, like, this is a big problem right now, guys. I'm just saying that, like, if someone doesn't want to have kids...
They're an asshole.
Yes, thank you.
Why should people have kids, Shayne? Sort of playing devil's advocate here, but
that's your rightful duty as a human being.
What if you're stupid? You're making more
purpose.
stupid kids.
So what about those that can't have kids? If you're saying that a human being's sole singular purpose is to have kids, what if somebody can't have kids?
Did not say it was your sole singular purpose. If you can't have kids, then obviously you cannot have kids.
And that's not their fault. They're just like wasting.
Exactly. I'm not
going
going to call you an asshole because
it's like we can't have kids.
Like,
how dare you? No, but I mean, I think it's interesting. I do think that, like, you know, the whole millennial generation, a lot of people aren't having kids, a lot of people aren't getting married, a lot of people aren't having families, and I think in some ways that's okay for people to kind of do their own thing for a while. But if I'm being honest, I do think a lot of people are going to be unhappy in the next like 15 years when they're like 45 or 50 and they didn't have any kids, they didn't have a family or anything, you know, or they didn't get married even. Like
50 is a new 30.
Well. Not for women, because women can't have kids once they start getting older. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true. Well, cloning has come a long way.
I think most people would regret not having the full life cycle, like.
Well, the whole standard life cycle.
Yeah. But no. I mean, that's like. I mean, to me, that's life.
I know people that would disagree with you on that.
I would regret if I didn't have that, and I'm sure they wouldn't. To each their own, but.
What do you think?
I still think you would regret it because you're not there yet, and that's why your point of view is that. I think you would still regret it.
I agree with you. I think that
nobody wants to die alone.
I think what people
get to leave behind.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Wow,
I do think that. Yeah, I know. I've been told I have a problem. You know,
it's all right.
By my friends that I tend to interrupt people because I like to talk.
If you don't interrupt anyone on this podcast, you'll never get to say anything. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, honestly,
John's like, let me testify to you. You have to interrupt.
Good to know.
That's true. You really
just tell them to shut up.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with you, Shayne, that people they'd be more inclined, or they would be a lot less regretful having kids than they would be not having kids. I think they would regret it more not having kids. But what do you think the reason is these days that people are not wanting to have kids?
Because people are selfish. I don't know. I think that's part of it. Because people want to have their own life. And
what about the people?
Have their own life.
What about the people that say the reason I don't want to have a kid is because I can't provide. I can't provide for that kid. I can't give them a good life.
Those people do exist. I don't know that many people that are in that situation though.
That's a small percentage.
No. But that's completely different. That's saying you can't provide now. That's not saying you can't.
There's people that most of the people that I know that aren't having kids because they don't want to settle down. They don't want to take care of a kid. They don't want to get married. That sort of stuff. They don't want to.
No, we're not talking about people who don't want to have kids at the moment. We're talking about people who don't want to have kids at all, ever. Mm-hmm. Like they know that. We're not talking about people who don't want to have kids like now because they're not in the right situation.
What do you say to the mindset of okay, well here's a good one. All right, let's say back 15, 20 years ago. Back when, you know, interracial couples, like my wife and I, for example, I'm Indian, she's white. If they were to have kids, those kids they'd be called, face a lot of racism, called mixed breeds, half breeds, whatever. Mm-hmm. Face a lot of those difficulties. What do you say to parents like that? Where it's like, I don't want to bring a kid into this current world because the way that everything is right now, that kid's not going to have a good life. And I don't see a change coming to where
I still think that's selfish because that's not even giving the kid
it's kind of a. I think it's kind of an odd priority. I think that
we're not thinking that people can make a difference and that people. I don't know. That's what I would think. I think
that
that's just you being a hopeless
in a
person.
way is putting too much emphasis. If someone told me that, this is what I would tell them. Mm-hmm. I would say that I was afraid that that's putting too much emphasis on other people's opinions instead of the way that you want to live.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when it's like,
you gotta think of it in the mindset back then, though, not now.
I know, but it's like this is your life and your kid and your family, and you're letting the people that you disagree with decide what fulfilling things you get to do, as opposed to, you know, I can get some. I understand part of it being like, well, if I bring the kid in the world, he's gonna have to deal with all these problems, but you could be like, oh, I'm not going to bring a kid in the world because 200 years ago he would have starved, or 300 years ago he would have. And so it's like, so
I can't
what?
Even say that.
Where's the line? Oh, I don't want to bring a kid in the world because he'll get bullied. You know, where's the line? When does it become a definite
because
line?
I mean, just as we know, because we all went through stuff. Every kid goes through things. Yeah. So like, no matter like what the issue you're thinking is, like, I mean, even if you were something different. Like the kid would still go through.
Well, let's actually to flip around
thing.
the devil's advocate and flip it around. If I was in a world where I knew my kid would get killed because there's a war going on, or we're in captivity or a prison camp or something like that, okay, let's not make a kid because there's no point in making a kid, right? I mean, isn't that is a situation where this would take into account? It's more extreme, but I can see there being a reason for someone to think that way, though.
Okay, but do you want to? But say like the war, you got out of captivity or whatever. Would you want to have kids then?
I mean, yeah, it depends on the individual.
And that's the.
But I'm saying like if you basically define two extremes, one is on one side and the other's on the other side, and they both have different answers, then that means there's a line somewhere in between those two different extremes where it becomes okay or not okay or whatever. So that's what I'm kind of looking at here. Here's one extreme, the other extreme. So where's that line?
Agreed.
If that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does make sense in my opinion. Yeah, there's always going to be two opposing views, and the question is going to be, where, like you just said, where's the line drawn where there's a compromise where something's going to be okay or something's not going to be okay. I was going to say something else, but my mind just went blank. So go ahead, Shayne.
Oh, no. I mean, I was just going to say, obviously, don't bring a child into, like, don't bring it into a terrible situation. I'm not, like, saying, yeah, have a kid, even though, like, you know, you're at gunpoint every single day. You know, who cares? YOLO. But
that's right, you do.
I'm saying the idea. I'm saying the idea of wanting I feel like at least you should like want to have a kid, even if like you don't end up having one. I feel like that desire should still be there. Like the people who flat out know, or at least I think they know, like don't want to have kids, like really like bother me, and they like I get uncomfortable around.
Interesting.
Them. Like why?
I mean,
why
I know that
not?
like
that is so weird to me.
I know that like with some of this stuff, if I was to say, I think people should strive to be social and outgoing and make friends because I think friends are good, and someone said, well, what about people that don't have friends or can't make friends? Well, yeah, they exist, but I'm just saying that I think in
Everyone
general
can make
people
friends.
should try to go down this path, or most people are going to want to go down this path. And so with like kids and stuff, I can see why people don't want kids, and I can see why people don't get kids. I'm just saying I think in general most people are going to want to have kids, and some of them might not realize it. Because it's kind of like when you're in high school and being like, I don't want to go to college. I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to grow up. It's like, yeah, I mean, nobody is usually really excited about the things they're going to lose when they progress into like the next level of something. But when you actually get there, you're kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of glad that I'm not in high school anymore. Just
Can I just say something real quick?
heck yeah.
Yeah.
The people that are out there eating Tide Pods, I don't want them having kids.
Yeah, those kids are going to be messed up, man.
I don't want them to want to have kids.
Yeah, they need to stop. Oh, yeah, this ties
But
back into what I was
for
saying
the
about
views.
people that are
It's
like,
for the views.
all these people have been going. It's like they had kids, and then all of a sudden it just stops. Like they're the one that stops the. It's like a drop. It's almost like a drop going
Okay,
down,
but
down like
honestly,
a window,
you have
and
to
they
think
stop
about
it.
this.
The Tide Pod people they need to. Whoop. That's as far as
Wait,
that
you
needs to
no,
go.
No, you have to think about this, right? We need stupid people to have kids because there needs to be more stupid people so life
What?
can be balanced. If everyone was like good, because honestly, imagine how uninteresting your life would be if stupid
Yeah, really.
people
Who would
weren't
we
in
who
it.
would we rant about on
That
this
is
podcast?
a very
Exactly.
twisted way of looking at the world, but okay.
I'm saying we need balance. Like my friend was like, I wish there weren't stupid people so everyone could just be the same. I said, are you kidding me? We'd go insane.
Who would I make
No.
fun of?
Well, here the way I see it is everything's gonna find a way to balance itself. Anyways, balance always finds a way to come. So
No, we'd
if
kill
we
each other.
if we
Life
take
finds a
all the
way.
stupid people out of the equation, which is impossible, it's never gonna happen. But let's say theoretically speaking, if we were able to take all the stupid people out, I think the balance would become the smart people would become smarter in order to make the people that are what you would consider above average.
Right.
Dumb. They
Well,
would
the
become into stupid.
spectrum of stupidity to
I
smartness would
disagree.
shift.
I think we'd kill each other.
So I would think that the IQ, let's say right now a genius level IQ I believe is 140. Let's say everybody below the IQ level of 120 just eliminated for some random reason.
well,
then-
that's not me.
Then all of
Like, whew, oh man. All right.
I'm just theoretically speaking here.
135.
So you're right there. You're right there next to the genius level. So I think at that point, if everybody below, like, let's say 120, were to go ahead and get eliminated somehow, I think the new genius level IQ would then be at like 160 or 180.
Yeah, because like what would happen if
needed.
I just like said, okay, we're gonna send a robot out into the world. It's gonna chop off the head of anyone who's at 134. So like Shayne would be alive, but you would be at the bottom of the spectrum of intelligence.
Could you imagine?
You would be the dumb guy.
Wait. Could you imagine that, like, the robot showing up to your door and you being like, "It's my turn, it's my time"?
It really, it's like the robot is like this floating robot, and it just shows up and it holds up your report card, and it's like, no, just chops your head off.
Or even worse, the robot shows up and you have to take a quick on-the-spot IQ test. Lord, please let me get just a couple right.
It's like an SAT.
Please be multiple choice.
No, not multiple choice. See, that's the thing. Some people love multiple choice. Apparently, Lucas does. Wow.
Oh, I love multiple choice.
I hate multiple choice.
Why?
Multiple choice
I like
is so
multiple choice
hard.
because
I hate
you
it.
want to know why I like multiple choice? Because I can see the answer.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't.
Like, you know what
no,
I mean?
you don't, because they try to
Yes,
trick
you
you.
do.
No, they try to trick you. So
No,
it's like
because one of them has
so
to
when
be
like
right.
true false. Actually, if there's one thing worse than multiple choice, it's true false.
It's
Agree.
true or false.
I
I
agree.
True or false
hate
is
true
worse,
and false
yes.
because it's always
I hate
like
true false.
true or false.
subjective.
The sky is blue, and then it's like, oh,
It's so subjective.
well, crap. They might be trying to trick me on that one.
Well, no, the
It's
sky
like,
is
it's
not
not
blue.
always-
It's a reflection of the sunlight off the.
It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, the reflection, and then it's supposed to happen. You put false, and the teacher gives you back. It's like, wow, you're stupid. Why'd you put false? It's obvious. Everyone knows the sky is blue. And you're like, well, I could argue my answer, and that's what I hate.
You could.
And then
So
you
if
do,
I
and they're
wrote,
like, no.
if that was an essay question, I would write what Lucas said, and I get extra points because of science.
And then,
No,
but
I never
here's the
liked
thing.
essay questions because I didn't like thinking.
And the thing about multiple choice versus essay questions, which I agree with you, Luke.
You can BS
in
an
the-
essay question. You can't BS a multiple choice. So if I'm 75%
can.
right,
Oh,
no.
you
If
can.
I'm what? You just circle all of them. If I'm 75% right, if I'm 75% right, I can write an essay and like at least get some points. But if I'm 75% right, multiple choice, it's wrong. 100%, you get 0.
Yeah, but then all those
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
but then you have a bunch of questions that you have absolutely no idea what the answer is. You guess the right question and you get free points based off of
Yeah,
a
but the
pure
odds.
guess.
I don't think the odds are in your favor because it's like
Yeah,
you
but
have-
25% chance to get it right every single
That's
time.
really bad. I feel like I can BS better than 25%.
And then I would say about 80% of the time, like 100% of stats are made up on the spot. Well, let's say 90% of stats are made up on the spot. I would say 90% of the time
I think you just made
on
that
a multiple choice.
let's say 70. Let's just make something up here.
Basically, I'm
50%.
telling you, I'm making the stat up, but I would say a vast majority of the time, you can look at a multiple choice question and at least deduce it down to a 50-50.
All right, hold
Okay,
on.
it's
So
either
we've
this or
got
this.
multiple choice, true, false. What are the other ones?
Fill in the
Essay.
blank.
Fill in the blank. Mix
Fill in the
mix and
blank are worse.
match.
The word bank. That's fill in the blank.
Yeah. I hate that once
hate
you start
those.
going down a wrong trail on those, then you mix up a few words, then it
Yeah.
screws
You're
you
like,
up
wait a
later,
minute.
so you second guess everything.
Yep.
No, here's what actually. All right, multiple choice where they say all of the above and none of the above. Screw
Oh,
that noise.
that's tough.
That's so
Yeah, I hate
That's such
that.
trash. It's
It
like,
is.
well, now I
It's
just have
stupid,
extra
yeah.
answers,
It's like
and now I'm gonna
I
get
don't even know.
confused and second guess
It's like,
myself.
it could be all of them. It could be one of them. It could be none of them. Like what?
I just don't like
Yeah,
those
I
little
don't like
things
those.
because it's like those. It's like, oh, was so and so born on the so whatever date, and then it's like, okay, so it could be the date that's wrong. It could be his name that's wrong. It could be the place
Oh,
that's
yes,
wrong.
yes.
Crap! I don't know
yeah.
if it's right or wrong. I know that
that.
most of this sentence is
You
right,
want
but
me
a
to know
word
the
they could have
information?
flipped a word wrong. And so then it's like, oh, well, he wasn't wearing a red coat. He was wearing a brown coat. And so it's like,
He was wearing a burgundy coat. Oh,
yeah, see?
thanks, guys.
and that's so annoying. I hate that stuff because I can't remember that kind of stuff. I remember overall concepts, not like those fine little details like that. That's annoying.
I remember, speaking of overall concepts versus fine details, and I was in college and I took this college. I was taking an algebra class in college. It was college algebra, and I didn't enjoy it. But I remember taking this one test, and the way this guy graded the test, he would give you 10 questions, but within each question, there's like a bunch of other questions. So I think of the 10 questions, I got 8 of them wrong. I mean, I got 8 of them right, but there were 2 questions that I got wrong. But within those 2 questions was like 4 sub questions. I ended up failing the exam because of the way he graded it. And I got so mad. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, it's because they're connected. That like it's like, okay, if I don't know A, or if I don't know question 4, then I won't know question 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't get the right answer.
I got like
4
1 through 7 right. I missed 8 and 9, then I got 10 right. But 8 and 9 had like a A, B, and then 9 had like a C. And I remember being so mad at him. I was like, and I had talked to the guy. I was like, I understand the majority of the concepts on this test, but because there's one concept I don't understand, I failed the entire exam. Are you kidding me? He's like, well, that's just the way the grading structure is.
You walk into his office. You slam the paper down on his desk.
Nah, I said no. That's just the way.
Boy.
I was so mad. I was so mad about that.
Oh, I fought. Oh, John knows. John went to school with me. He's seen me fight for my grades before. I go up to the teacher afterwards. Excuse me, I feel like I can.
Teacher?
I feel like
I
the
saw you on
answer
your
is.
knees begging.
I can totally see Luke.
Shut up, John. That's not true. I fought. I was like, no, I think this is right. No, it's not. No, I think it is. Here,
excuse me. You gave me a C, but I clearly deserved a B plus.
No, go for the A. I deserve the A. I know I got a D. I feel like I should get an A. Why?
There's not very many times I've had to fight for my grades, but when I've had to, I think I could think of 2 times off the top of my head where I went and actually fought for a grade.
Fought with your hands.
Not like
arm
not
wrestled
literally.
him. Pushed him against the
shit out of
Oh,
the
I
teacher.
almost a teacher almost this okay, John, I think I told you this story. So I went to so I did computer science for school, and I had to program something, and there's a thing you can use while programming that lets you kind of step through the program at certain processes, and it's called a debugger. But I was new, so like I didn't really know how to use it, so I wasn't using it. And I went to my professor and was like, hey, I'm trying to figure out this programming question. I'm having a hard time. Can you help me out with it? And he goes, oh yeah, okay. Well, have you used the debugger? And I was like, no. And he goes, he goes, oh, I'm gonna just jump out that window. I was like, oh man, I almost killed my professor. He's like, I'm gonna jump out that window.
I'm gonna jump out that window. Like,
He didn't do it, but I could have looked real
Who
bad.
was it? Can you tell me? Or
It was Flores.
oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, Flores is great.
He was the best.
He's like, I'm gonna jump out that window.
You're welcome.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny because like people would just look and there would just be this giant hole in the window of the 3rd story building of Looter, and there's just professor lying down there. I'm sitting there with my laptop with my code out, and like it's a wrong code. That would not look good for me.
Yep. Always liked that he looked like Paul McCartney, even though he was Spanish.
okay, so speaking of that, no, kind of. My church pastor looks like James Corden, and I want to tell him so bad, but I'm like scared to tell him. But I think I'm gonna tell him the next time I see him.
It's hard to test the grounds of whether or not you can tell somebody looks like, you know?
Yeah.
Whether or not you can tell them.
It's like you have
like him.
only if it's someone good looking. If you say someone looks like someone bad,
Yeah,
like, oh, you look like
ugly.
Stephen Hawking's, like, oh, what?
Like,
You know?
I've had people tell me I look like Josh Peck, and then it's like, all right, there's a
which one?
range, right? There's a range of which I'm okay with you telling me this.
You talking about Josh Peck 10 years ago,
Josh.
or
Yes, it was 10
It's
grandfather
like-
Josh Peck?
Dude, you look like
Drake and
Hayden
Josh
Christensen. Oh, really? Like when he's all no, when he's on fire. He has no hair anymore. Okay. Well, thanks.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. I think it's also very subjective, man. Everybody looks at people differently, so it's just
Yeah, it is. I've gotten a range of people. Half of them I don't see.
That's fair. Range, different things. It's true though. I know, like, I've talked to people about that before, like things that I prefer in somebody versus what they prefer, and it's like completely different, which I guess is good. People don't need to be the same.
I prefer
Right.
2 eyes, 1 mouth.
2 arms, legs.
Arms optional.
You know, I prefer this. Oh,
It's like, that's fine.
I don't know about that.
Maybe just 1 arm at least. Gotta wipe
All right.
that ass.
So I was looking at online today, and there was an article, and apparently
That was a good
50
one.
Cent forgot that he had a stash of Bitcoin, and now it's worth $8 million.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I heard about that he made millions before
Yeah,
it was popular.
people were like joking about
Sucks
it,
to
where
suck.
they're like, "I wish he'd bought half of Bitcoin because he's 50 Cent."
I remember when I started using Bitcoin.
You used Bitcoin?
And yes.
What?
I'm not. I don't ask. I'm not. No.
Did you sell it? Did you lose it?
No.
He used it.
Used it. But when I went to go buy it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get like 10 Bitcoins. That's what I type into the thing, right? And when I saw how much money I had to pay, I was like, what? How does this work?
It's one coin. Why is it $50?
I was like, yeah, I know. Like, why 50?
How much is it?
In actuality, you bought 0.00000023.
How much?
No, I'm talking about
How much is a
no,
Bitcoin
I'm not
right now?
talking about.
What?
Um,
No, hold
Oh,
on.
Bitcoin's in like 16,000, right?
I don't know. Bitcoin value.
Bitcoin's at 11,000.
Whoa!
Wow.
yeah, and I was like, I don't have 11.
That's trash. $11,000 for one.
So then I
penny.
realized you have to get like 0.000000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But what was
I
it
think
worth before? I want to see the inflation that happened with it, or the.
I got some
the market
Ethereum,
value.
and I think I talked about other people should probably get that in the group chat when that was low.
Thanks, Jonathan.
I told you guys.
Did you get any yourself?
Yeah, I bought Ethereum when it was at 150.
What's it now?
It's at 1,000.
What?
Mhm.
Well, that's cool. Good for you, John.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you
have
even buy Bitcoin. You just go to the online somewhere. What's this mining?
You got to find a
What's
an
mining?
exchange that let you.
What's mining Bitcoin? What does that
You
mean?
don't. Mining is not worth the trouble. Like
What is it?
your computer is doing some complex algorithms, solving algorithms. As it solves them,
What?
you get parts of Bitcoin.
That's stupid. I get the theory, but that's weird.
Ignore trying to mine them
Okay.
and just buy them.
Weird. Bitcoin. Yeah, apparently he forgot. There's a bunch of stories where people had they own a lot of Bitcoin, and then they can't find it.
Yeah.
They can't log into their computer. They can't find their password.
Yep.
Oh man.
That sucks.
Yeah, and now here's the thing. Nobody gets that money. So I saw Bitcoin stuff. Apparently the flu season this year is horrible, but it's
Is it?
don't they say that every year?
They
I've
do
been
say
meaning
that
to get a
every year.
flu shot, but then I always feel better, so I don't get it.
I got
Wow.
one.
How do you
don't
work
know.
with
I don't
kids and
trust
not
flu
have a flu
shots.
shot?
You don't? Do you have a thing against pharmaceutical?
Never trust
companies and
anything
stuff?
that's free.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
It's
free.
not free.
Yeah, it is. If you go to Rite Aid and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
It's not free.
Yes, it is. They literally say free flu shots every.
Well, no
sign
wonder
and
you don't
ad.
trust. Is it someone sitting outside the Rite Aid just with a sign, "Oh, free
No.
flu
It's
flu
the
shot,"
Friday.
It's
shooting you up
in
with
the
heroin?
Rite Aid. Oh my god.
Just they're like, "Why are you tapping on my arm like that?"
Why?
Why are you putting this rope on my arm?
Why are you tapping on my
Give it a
arm
good
like
flick.
that?
First one's free.
Gosh. I can't.
Really, and then they get you addicted. That's the whole thing. I was talking to someone about that actually, because it's
Wow.
heroin is basically like opioids, like painkillers type stuff, but it's a higher dosage, and you obviously inject it differently. But we've talked before about the opioid epidemic that's going on in Ohio and some of the other states up there in that area where they're bored, and apparently it's a big thing for people to be filling multiple prescriptions and stuff to get extra painkillers and stuff, and then people snort them. It's really weird. I was
No,
reading
that's
about it
good.
earlier.
I agree.
It's very what?
Yeah, they're
You
stopping
agree?
people from
All right.
doing that, right?
They're trying. Well,
Yeah, people don't need to. Be
people are
snorting
starting to because
prescription
people are
drugs.
dying all the time
from
from overdoses. It's high, dude. Hold up.
If
Let me
you
see.
snort
High.
prescription
No
drugs-
pun intended by using the word high. Opioid deaths per year. It's high.
Okay. Sorry, I just got.
Yeah, it's like 30. It's like 30,000 people died in 2015 from
that just
over something
that
like
just
that.
like
Anyway.
sparked a thought that I needed to say.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know if we talked about it. Did we talk about
Drugs?
No. Did we talk about the mom and the dad who kept their kids hostage and tortured them?
Oh, I didn't hear much
The
about
ones that had
that.
the adult kids.
Yeah, who had like the 29-year-old kids and they like didn't feed them.
We did not
I
talk
didn't
about
even
it.
hear about this.
Oh, okay.
I heard about it, but I didn't really read about it because I didn't exactly want
Okay,
to.
so
but
no, this is insane. You have to hear this. So there's this mom and this dad who kept their, I think 13 of their kids from ages, I think 2 to up to 29, like hostage in their house, like chained up, not feeding them, and like just like torturing them for like I don't know how I forget, I think like 8 or something
Holy
years like
crap.
that. Yeah, it's crazy, and they're like millions of dollars in debt or thousands of dollars in debt. And now they've been sentenced to like 8 to 7 years in prison or something like that.
that's all.
It might
8
be
years
more.
in prison.
And no, it might be more. I think
It sounds like that's got to be more.
They had their kids in prison for longer than that.
Let me look it up. But yeah, I was like,
That's horrible.
insane.
That's
I was
gonna
like,
mess a kid up too.
I'm like, 29. I said, I would have just punched mom in the face and like left.
Yeah, but apparently
I
he
mean-
was so like malnourished that they didn't even realize he was a 29-year-old. They thought he was a kid.
Oh really? Wow.
Man, that's so
That's crazy.
horrible.
I know.
That's horrible.
Who does it? What kind of different mind does it take
Well,
to do
like,
something like that?
Why do you keep
Well,
having
just think
kids
about
to do
that
that to
kid.
more of them?
I've had like I've been reading a lot about like psychology, and a lot of it's or child psychology, and it's just like, man, that's a game over for that kid. He's gonna be so messed up in the head, you know. That's horrible. I don't know. It's also awful too, because it's like, how do you stop that? How do you stop like a mom and dad just from having kids and then just chaining them up? You can't. How do you catch that? You can't really.
Mm-mm.
That's horrible. All right, what are the facts though, Shayne?
Okay, so it says. Oh, hold on.
Let's end this podcast on a downer. This is a horrible, awful story. You're letting us down, Shayne.
No, wait. It doesn't. I don't think it says how long they were sentenced. It just says that their bail. Well, was
Why did they
$9
do it? Did
million.
they say why they did it?
Let me see. But it says their bail. It was at $9 million, but they're gonna try and get it up to $13 million, and that's for each of them. Like so, $26 million
Man.
total. But
I don't even know how to comment on that, really.
wait, the parents. It says the victims would typically go to sleep about 5 a.m., sleep all day, stay up all night. They were allowed to shower only once a year. Once a year? Wow.
That's
Oh my God.
that's crazy.
Stinky.
Yeah. It says what started out as neglect became severe and prolonged abuse that eventually involved beatings and stranglings. He said
How many kids was it?
13.
They had 13 children.
Yes. But that some of them they were torturing, and they had more children to then torture those children as well. That's the sick part. The whole thing is sick, but the victims were restrained with ropes and sometimes hog-tied as punishment. Later, chains and padlocks were used. The parents had toys wrapped in the house that they didn't give to the kids. They also bought food, such as pies, for themselves, and then left it out on the counter. The children were told that they could look at the food but could not eat it.
Oh my God.
That's sick.
Yeah, dude, that is sick, twisted. Like, that's horrible.
And it doesn't say how long they got sentenced.
Scroll down.
And why don't we just tie them up like hogs and just hang them from the ceiling and let them sit
See
there
if I can
for
find it.
forever? That's just terrible. Yeah, I like I said, dude, I heard about this and I did not want to read about it because I knew
They
it was
were
going to be
also. It
something horrible
says they
like
were
this.
also homeschooled, but when they were like asked about they were asked by like a police officer like questions, and they didn't even know what a police officer was.
Oh my gosh.
You mean there's people out there that are supposed to help us?
So
Where were you?
Oh, man. I don't even know what to say, man. And like I said, I've been reading about child psychology and stuff, and it talks just about all the little teeny things that make a big difference. Things like where it was like, it's the parents' job to teach children how to play before they're like 4, so that kids can go out and make friends. Because after age 4, that's when kids start kind of latching onto peers more than the parents, and so it's important for them to know how to socialize by that age. So you teach them to laugh, you teach them to play, you teach them how to be disciplined, like all that sort of stuff. And it's like, if they don't get to be at that point by the time they're 4, they're gonna have really serious problems for a very long time. Like because then they won't have friends, and then they'll start being socially awkward. They don't really know how. It's like all these little things where it's like, oh man, just that something that small makes that big of a difference.
Yeah.
And so like something like this, like something that would mess up a full-grown adult doing that to kids.
So they haven't been sentenced yet. They haven't got their
Can we vote how long we sentence them?
For real.
Is that a thing?
They haven't gone to court yet, but they're just on bail for $26 million right now.
Yeah, good luck.
And then something in the article says, what could be next for the 13 siblings? And I said, hopefully a full course meal. And like
no
a
kidding.
shower. That's great. Once a year, that's
trifling.
For real. It is.
Yeah, I got like no comment, man. I don't know what to say.
Well, let's just hope they get the severe punishment.
Yeah, man. Screw those people.
And I do have to, I don't want to say applaud, but I do have to say, the will of the kids though is like pretty strong, because I don't know, I could last however long, like the 29-year-old, however long that was going on. I don't know how long, like, I would put myself through that.
Oh man.
Well, if that's all you ever know.
Exactly.
That's something I've thought about before, about a lot of things in general, where it's like, we think about, oh, it's hot outside, or like it's raining, or it's like, oh, when I exercise I get tired, or you know, when I eat food, sometimes the food is good and sometimes it's bad, and like all these little things like that. Can you imagine? We deal with that stuff, and we've learned how to deal with that stuff because we've grown up with it. We just expect it. That's the way it is. And so that's why I can kind of see how some people become socially deprived in a way if they're super rich, because they don't have to deal with things that regular people have to deal with, and vice versa. And so it's weird to think someone could. It's very easy for someone to look at where we are in our lives and be like, "What? You? That's all you have to deal with? That's it?" And yet we still deal with like anxiety or frustration or anger or depression and all those feelings. It's like we really have like a lot of things comparatively.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true.
It's a serious podcast, you guys. I went very serious.
Look, there are real things happening that people need to acknowledge.
Yeah. Well, I think even though
Speaking
there's
of real
no way
things, we can end on a positive note. Luke.
Okay, good, because I don't have a
just because you're like, I know you're a super huge film guy. What do you think about any thoughts on Oscar nominations that just came out?
Oh, I didn't.
I haven't looked at them. Oh, really? Wow, surprise.
Let's see my live reaction to the Oscar nominations.
James Franco got snubbed.
Who did? Okay.
Franco.
Yeah.
Best Picture.
And yeah.
Oh, he didn't get nominated for Best Picture?
No, because of those allegations came out, and they were like,
Dunkirk. I did not love. I did not see Get Out. Of course, The Post got nominated because
Meryl Streep.
Spielberg. Yeah, it's kind of getting old at this point. Where it's like, guys,
stop
really making the same damn movie. Can you do something different now? You know. Okay, lead actor. Oh, I heard Gary Oldman was really good in Darkest Hour. Get Out. All right, I swear if Daniel Day-Lewis wins again, he's won so many times.
I think he's only won twice.
No, he's won 3 times.
I was gonna say maybe it's 3, but yeah.
Yeah, 3. That's the most wins anyone's ever had.
So let him live. He's good. He's great.
I know, but like, it's like
no. Let Meryl Streep.
It's
win
always
again.
Meryl Streep and
it is. It
you
really
know
is.
Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't know. I'm looking through. I didn't get to watch a lot of these movies.
The first ever female cinematographer got nominated. People were talking
That's
about
too bad.
That's too bad.
Sorry. Oh, best editing, Baby Driver. That's right, because it deserves it. Best sound mixing.
Baby Driver again. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's good because those were really good. All the sound and the editing.
Sound mixing, Baby Driver again. Yes.
And John and I were like, "Yeah, man, go team."
Baby Driver.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of original score. Wait, hold up. Let's see where Star Wars is.
What about directors?
Star Wars got nominated for
original score,
sound, and score.
They always
and
get
visual effects.
Nominations.
I don't know. Nothing's like that interesting with these. I didn't see a lot of these movies. I didn't see a lot of these like latest ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm busy making my own movie. Hey-o.
I don't even know half the animated ones.
Yeah. Oh, really? What's nominated for animated?
I gotta find it.
Wait, The Boss Baby got
Boss
nominated
Baby,
for...
Breadwinner, Coco.
I thought people hated that movie.
Wait, I didn't hear.
I thought people hated
Luke,
that movie.
Shut up.
There was no animated movies this year.
Wait, John, read them again.
Boss Baby, Breadwinner, Coco, Ferdinand, and Loving Vincent. Fucking Ferdinand.
So
Are
first
you
of
kidding
all,
me?
Boss Baby is trash, and I can name you like 5 other animated movies that I saw this year that were better than that. But
what's Ferdinand?
I still want to see Ferdinand, and I heard Coco was really good.
What is this movie?
It's about.
What is this movie?
I don't know. It's about a bull or something. I don't know.
This looks. Oh man, that's.
I want to
not
see it
good.
though.
What
It looks
animated
good
movies
to
came
me.
out this year? Didn't Zootopia come out this year, or was that last year?
That was last year, I think.
That was 2 years ago.
The Lego Batman movie wasn't on there.
Yeah, Lego Batman was great.
Captain Underpants wasn't on there.
Oh, yeah. Well, apparently,
we're watching
Boss
that
Baby was
tomorrow.
better than Captain Underpants because
I don't know
Did
why that
anyone
movie
like
is
that
terrible.
I heard
I
no.
didn't
I don't
like
think
it.
anyone liked that movie.
Which one, Captain Underpants or Boss Baby?
No, Boss Baby.
I probably didn't like it because this kid hyped it up to me because he wanted me to come over to his house and watch it with him. And I said, I don't know how I feel about that.
Has Christopher Nolan won Best Picture for anything? I don't think he has.
Yeah,
Dark
no.
Knight didn't win, no.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't really keep up with it.
Yeah, it's kind of it's dumb award shows. Doesn't matter. So,
Yeah,
okay,
there wasn't
let's
a lot of good animated movies last
It
year.
does matter. It changes your career.
There's like nothing. Yeah.
yeah, way to go, animation guys. Let's wrap up this podcast.
Emoji
so,
movie
Lucas,
should get best.
what?
Emoji movie should get the best. I'm just saying, it's the best movie.
Oh, the emoji movie.
And on that
That's right.
note, plugs.
5 stars.
Plugs.
The best movie of all
Plugs.
time. Yeah. So, Lucas, I didn't get a chance to warn you about this. Basically, this is the end of the show where we tell people things we're doing. We give them our Instagram or anything social media related, and have them follow us or whatever.
No one
so
but
this
Michael
is like your
gives
chance to
them
kind of give
their Instagram.
a little commercial if you have something. So I know people that have bands. They'll talk about their band. They'll plug their Instagram. I plug my movies, all that stuff. So, Shayne, let's start with you.
Okay.
What?
Because you keep using Instagram as a reference. I'm like, Michael's the only one who plugs an Instagram.
No, I do.
You do?
I don't know, probably not.
No,
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
most people have Instagrams. I don't know if Lucas
This
has
is
anything,
true.
so I'm trying to give him ideas.
I not really, guys. To be honest, I don't
see,
really have
Shayne?
anything to plug.
That's all right. That's fine. So Shayne, start though.
Anyway, so check out my podcast, the Pop Talk Podcast, on SoundCloud.
Woo.
Yep, fun time, good things happening. Next week or this weekend is the Grammys, so next week we'll be recording our Grammys episode, and hopefully it's a good show because I'm not too excited. I was not too excited about the nominations. If you saw that episode or listened to that episode, you would know that. But yeah, check that out on SoundCloud. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. McCatty, MrMccatty. And just because Luke keeps saying it, follow me on my Instagram at After Ashes, AFTERASHES. Bam.
Okay, and John, you don't have anything?
Chicken
Chicken.
means I don't have anything.
Lucas, you said you don't have anything either?
What language is
Nope.
that?
Okay, that's fine.
Apparently that's what people say at work when they have nothing to report.
Chicken.
They go, chicken.
I'm trying to think of there's a way to interpret that in some way, but anyway, so you can follow me on Instagram at Luke Roxwold, same as my Twitter at Luke Roxwold. You can follow this podcast on Twitter
Whoop, whoop.
at, I have to read it, I can't say it yet.
You can't.
No, wait, I'm gonna type it out. Okay. It's hard, man. It's an acronym. It's you can follow us on Twitter at WAITSB Podcast. Tweet at us. So we're all in the same boat. Acronym podcast. I want to get tweets from you guys. So please, please. You can follow me on Twitter at Luke Roxwell. You can follow my vlog channel, Luke Roxwell Vlogs, and my video is coming very soon. We finished filming on Saturday.
The movie?
Or Sunday, I mean. Yep. We're going to film a few more things, though, on Saturday. Just like a few extra things like that I want to try and reshoot. Just like a few little scenes.
Well, if you do
but the editing
make
is...
Make sure you pay the male and female actors the same amount of money.
That's right.
Why don't you let a woman direct for
careful
once,
about that.
Luke? God.
The star is a woman. Whatever,
What
guys.
is she, a
So
hero?
you can. That movie
Or
is
is she a
coming
damsel
along,
in
and it's
distress?
really turning out good. Stop! It's really turning out good. The editing is going well. There's a lot of things I'm trying to fix, but I think that this is going to be a really, really good movie. Probably my best movie that I've done in terms of production value and
Nice.
quality and acting and story and everything. So that's good. That's it.
When can the public
Guys,
hope to see it?
I'm excited to see it.
I'm not sure yet. I
Are
want to
we
get it done
gonna
before
get-
my birthday. So that's
Are we
halfway
gonna
through
get
February.
Are we gonna get a screening before it comes out? The
I'd like to
podcast?
do that somehow,
Oh,
like some
let's
sort
all
of.
watch it at the same time.
Yeah, we could try.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, guys. That movie's coming soon. I'd love to give you a date, but I don't have one yet. So, okay. Thanks.
Thank you. And
For
thanks
listening.
for Lucas for coming on. Thanks, Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas, thanks for joining us, man. It was good having you on.
Oh, absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me. I loved it.
Yep. Okay, so everybody, thanks for listening. Check out our other episodes. If you want to be a good fan, leave a comment or a review in the sections where you do that. Thanks, everybody. Outro music.